Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming back my good friend, Elizabeth Gorcey. You may remember her. I interviewed her before. She was in Footloose and Kidco and Grandview USA, a couple of great 80s movies. And today I'm going to have her back on the show, and we're going to get dirty. We're going to talk about my two favorite subjects in life, movies and sex. And I can't wait. Elizabeth is so nice, a lot of fun, and I'm sure it's going to be pretty interesting and stuff. And it's going to be really, really entertaining, I think. I'm trying to think, like, I have everything written down, of course, of what we're going to talk about and stuff, but I'm going to like improvise stuff as well, and it's going to be pretty good, I have to say. So here is my new interview with my old friend Elizabeth Gorcey. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Been a crazy couple of months. But all good.
Crazy couple of months?
Oh, yeah, just nonstop stuff.
Yeah, I know how it is.
I know you.
Hello? 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 Elizabeth? Hello? Hello?
I don't know what happened. Probably me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be at a study location in about 2 minutes, so. You had somebody who passed, right, in your family?
Oh, yeah. My aunt passed unexpectedly.
I'm so sorry to hear about that. It's terrible.
Yeah. It was just out of the blue, and it was just pretty devastating.
What happened? Like, how did she pass?
She was out in public, I think at the grocery store or something, and, she gets checked out, all the time. She's very healthy. Everything's good. And suddenly she got a brain aneurysm and just collapsed. And
oh my God.
Yeah, she went.
Insane. Like, what? So she had no headache. She had nothing.
Nope, nothing. And
that's insane.
Yeah, and so she got rushed to the hospital, and they said, we give her 8 hours, and that's exactly what happened. 8 hours later, she was gone.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And they don't have any idea. Like, did she go for regular physicals? Did she do all that stuff?
Oh yeah, she was healthy. She went all the time. Everything was good with her. It was just a random. It was just a random life that God took, basically.
Wow. And you just wonder why, right? Like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but it was pretty devastating. I felt the worst for my dad because he was very close to her.
Oh, that's hard. And was it your dad's sister?
Yeah.
Wow. That's too bad. I'm really sorry to hear that.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. And how is he doing now? Is your mom alive?
Oh, yeah. My mom is living with me and stuff.
Okay.
My dad, he's better, though.
Yeah. Did she have any children?
Yeah, she had my 2 cousins.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow. That's too bad. Really too bad.
Yeah, you never know sometimes.
Yeah, and how old was she? She was 40, what did you say?
Oh, no, she was 71.
Oh, she was 71.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, and how old are her children?
One is 51, and one is like 46 or 47.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, again, I'm going to say...
Thank you so much.
You're that.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
So, yeah, today I want to talk about my two favorite subjects, movies and sex.
Okay.
And I'm going to start this dirty podcast with an inappropriate 80s trivia question for you.
Okay.
Can you guess which one of your former co-stars from the 80s I thought about earlier when I was masturbating?
Sarah Jessica Parker?
No, she's got a face that could do prison time.
Oh, who has face time, prison time?
I said Sarah Jessica Parker has a face that looks like it could do prison time.
Oh, that's so funny. That's hysterical. Lori Singer?
Nope, but you're very close on the name.
Huh. I don't know.
Lori Griffin.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yep.
Yeah, because I watched this movie she did around the same time called Aloha Summer. I hadn't seen it in like 25 years. It's a movie I used to watch a lot when I was a kid. And in that movie, she is just so different than she was in Teen Wolf. She plays this really, really nice, sweet, empathetic girl in the movie and stuff. And yeah, I couldn't help myself. Do you remember the first movie you ever saw?
When I was little?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, allegedly my first movie was Cannonball Run with Burt Reynolds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like that was the first movie I can remember being obsessed with. I mean, I used to watch it over and over again and just quote every line, and I still do. And, you know, when he died a couple of weeks ago, I was just pretty devastated because of that. I mean, that was literally like my first movie, and it was the first movie I was obsessed with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow.
What's your favorite movie of all time?
Oh boy, I have a bunch of them. I mean, I love The Big Chill.
Yeah, I love it.
Like that. That's a good one. I mean, I love a lot of the movies with Jack Nicholson.
Oh,
Oh God, I love some of David Lynch's movies.
mm-hmm.
You know, the director.
Right.
A lot of stuff. I like a lot of different genre films. So, very.
Yeah. Oh my God. My favorite movie of all time is Back to the Future. To me, it's the most well thought out movie, and it's got all the great movie genres I love all in one. It's in great performances. You know, Michael J. Fox is just great in it. It's just I love that movie, and I just get chills when I watch it. And I still have the very first VHS tape I had of it that my parents taped for me when I was 3.5 years old. Still have it. Yeah, I try not to watch it. I try not to watch it often though, because I don't want to wear the tape out. But when I do, it takes me back to sitting on my parents' living room floor and just being entertained by this movie.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
You know, I worked with Michael. I do know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just before you worked with him just before he did that movie too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And also,
he was even doing some of it when we were doing this, because he just started it.
well, I do know, I think I told you this last time you were on, they were shooting on the same street as when he gets hit by the car, that same street. And he asked some people who were scouting locations what they were doing, and he said, we're casting for a new Steven Spielberg movie, and then a few months later, he got it.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wild.
Yeah, it sure is. I also love, let's see, what are my other favorites? I love Night of the Comet. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Love that movie.
Do you go to clubs to do stand-up?
Stand-up. I haven't done any around here in Reading, but when I'm in the Bay Area, I go to the open mics. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And what's your favorite thing about that?
I just love to entertain people. I love to make people laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Have
you always done this?
Well, yeah, I mean, from the time I was like 3 or 4 years old, I used to entertain the family after dinner, and I would imitate my favorite stand-up comedians, or I would put on imaginary Saturday Night Live sketches and play every character. I would like rush off and like change my clothes and go back and stuff all the time.
That's fun.
Yeah, I did that. I did that for about a good 10 years or so, and then I just grew out of it. I just got old and just was like, nah, I'm done with it. And then, of course, when I was in high school, I did theater and stuff, so.
That's cool. That's cool. Did you ever want to move to California?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been in San Francisco my whole life until last year, but I did want to move to LA right after high school, but my grandma was dying. I had to take care of her until she passed. I did it. I took care of her for 9 months, and then my mom, she just didn't think I was emotionally ready yet to move to Los Angeles and stuff. And then we did this. We went to go visit some relatives in Arizona, and she was like, wouldn't it be great to live out here? So we did that. About 5 years later, I was there for 3 months. I fucking could not stand it, so I had to get out and go back to California, to San Francisco, and stayed there for 10 years, and then moved down here last year, and now I'm trying to move to Los Angeles.
Got ya. Oh, yeah. Because you stand up every night here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the dive bars, of course, but like the comedy clubs, it's so hard. But I want to try it because it's what I want to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who? But who are your favorite actors?
Oh gosh. Love Meryl Streep. I love oh god. Jack Nicholson. What else do I like? Jessica Lange. Glenn Close. Oh god. Trying to think of who else. I think the Johnny really good.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
That Allman was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I think those were the guy categories, and then the actresses. I think I told you some. I think the Hulu officers were today.
Mm-hmm.
Natalie Portman, Francis McDormand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just it.
Yeah, I like all of them too.
Catherine Hepburn is, watch them old timers.
Right. I'm a big Jimmy Stewart fan.
Oh yeah, I love him. I like the old movies too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love Jimmy Stewart, Tom Hanks, Gene Hackman, James Woods, Jack Nicholson.
Wow.
Every movie that Jack made between 1969 and 1975 is just phenomenal. He worked with the best people during that period, and just everything he did just was just magnificent.
Yeah, I agree completely.
And then it kind of went away. He got caught up in being a celebrity, and he just did stuff that was okay. I mean, The Shining was my first horror movie when I was only like a year old. It scared the shit out of me. And that tape I just told you about Back to the Future, we taped over The Shining for that movie. And if you actually rewind it to the very beginning, just before the HBO PG graphics come up, you can see Shelley Duvall talking to the doctor, and it's very spooky.
Oh, wow. Oh, I'll have to look at that now, for sure.
Yeah.
I have to look at that. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. My favorite female actresses are Kelly Maroney. She's a good friend of mine. I've interviewed her. Leah Thompson, Jessica Lange, and God, so many. I'll tell you though, this is going to be a controversial statement. I've never liked Meryl Streep.
Oh, you didn't? Why? Just because
I
you get spoke?
Yeah, and I don't know, she's overrated in my opinion, and I just think there's so many other actresses in her generation that are better.
Is that the whole Trump thing?
The whole what?
Oh, the whole Donald Trump thing because he said she's overrated?
No. I mean, this goes back 30 years,
Yeah.
I just think that there's actresses that are better, in my opinion. I can't describe it. My mother's the same way. She's not a fan of hers either.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people that aren't, and then there's some that are,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I like from her generation. Like I said, Jessica Lange. I like Sissy Spacek. What's her name? Barbara Hershey.
Oh, yeah. She's really good.
Yeah. Those ones I really like. I mean, that generation spawned a lot of great actresses, post counterculture era of actresses.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a crush on anybody in movies?
I would say probably Bruce Lee, but I actually dated him, so...
You had a crush on him and you dated him.
Yeah, so this was a little more than a crush.
Yeah, I would say so.
Back when he was doing like Facts of Life around that time, so a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he seems like he'd be a great guy.
He's a really cool guy. But besides that, I kind of had a rule not to date any actors.
You what?
I had a rule not to date any actors with myself.
Yeah.
Just a rule, kind of like, don't do it. Don't date any actors. So, that's kind of what I always lived by. I didn't really...
Yeah, keep it business, not pleasure.
Yep. Especially if you're, on a set, how that changes so quickly.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. I learned that with all the jobs I worked in. Oh my God, especially my next to last one before my car accident. There was
When did you have a car accident?
I had an accident in January of 2015.
Wow, what happened?
It was just another night of going out drinking, and I was with this guy who I thought was my friend. He was a piece of shit, and basically what happened was I fell asleep in the...
Tell me a little, but not the whole story last time.
Yeah. Basically what happened was I fell asleep in the car. He fell asleep at the wheel. And we ended up in the middle of the road, but the car flipped over, and we got out okay. This is all after the fact because I blacked out and stuff.
Oh, my God.
And basically a car collided with ours, and the impact hit us and knocked us into the middle of the road. And I had the worst of the injuries.
Oh, no. What kind of injury?
Broke my leg in 7 places, crushed my sternum, broke my hand, broke a few teeth. in the hospital, we found out I had gallstones. I had a mild heart attack. They put a stent in my heart. It was a mess. I was in a coma for 30 days.
That's a life-changing thing.
Yeah, I was in a coma for 30 days. And I woke up.
Oh my God. Was it an induced coma, or did you just go into it?
I think I went into it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Your parents must have been freaking out, huh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my dad flew all the way from Washington to see me in the coma and stuff. When I woke up, he came to see me twice while I was in the hospital, because I was in the hospital 5 months, you know.
Oh, my God. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Now, what about today? Do you have to take special medicine and all that kind of stuff?
No, I got off my meds within a year, and
That's amazing.
yeah, I mean, I was taking blood pressure meds and everything. I'm all off them, and I just have to get checked out every 2 years. I'm actually due this year. We're gonna do it like next few months and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm just
your leg?
full of arthritis, but it's better, you know. But I can't ever run again, and I can't kneel or squat or work a real job.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But what happened, though, let me tell you. So before the accident, so I was doing stage crew for a play, and there was this girl who was also a prop handler, who was a couple of years younger than me. And the night before the premiere, we went out for drinks, and we ended up fucking that night. And the next day, when I went to the premiere, they told me they didn't need a prop handler anymore, and they let me go. And in hindsight, I think she got me fired, because about 2 years later, just before I left the Bay Area, I found out that she did a similar thing had happened with a couple other people I know, and
wow.
that she
said you kind of came on to her.
Well, no, I mean, it was completely consensual, you know, and she seemed normal.
But she probably is behind the scenes. She probably said that, right, you did something inappropriate or something.
Probably.
So it was consensual.
Yeah, probably. It's probably what happened. But they said that, yeah, she's a little nuts and everything, and she's even spent time in the loony bin and stuff. And I was like, wow, she fooled me really big time.
Yeah, there's a lot out there, isn't there? A lot of cuckoo birds.
Oh, and I'll tell you something. Over here in San Francisco and where you're at in L.A., oh my God, like the mental facilities are on the streets.
It's true. It's true.
You know? Oh my God. But yeah, I've always had a crush on Jennifer Love Hewitt in the movies. And oh my God, I would so invite her back to my place for morning after pills. I'll tell you. That smile she has, oh my God, gives me such a hard on every time. I miss the days though when independent movies were in the theaters and not in festivals or online streaming. You know. I noticed, like, ever since I've had so much time on my hands from recovering from the accident and pursuing show business, I've realized, like, oh my God, it must have started probably like in like the early 2010s, because I went through a long period where I wasn't watching much movies or TV, and it just came like a ton of bricks. Like, you know, you don't see independent movies anymore in the theaters. It's weird. Mm-hmm. And if you do, they don't last very long.
That's true. That's really true. I mean, some documentaries you see there.
Oh yeah, but like it just came out of nowhere, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is a very weird time for movies, and you know it's funny. A lot of people say there's too much content now. There's always been too much content, except back in the 80s, the only option you had was cable or VHS, and now you can either go, get a movie from Best Buy, a Blu-ray, or you can rent one at Redbox, or you got like 600 channels to choose from, let alone Netflix and Amazon Prime.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, it's just
A lot of choices there.
yeah, it's a weird time for movies. People are making them, taking them to festivals, hoping they get picked up for distribution, and then they do, and then like nobody sees them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's really, really sad.
It's true, but I guess some of the people are making it on they're just happy they're making it.
Yeah.
You know, and getting it done.
And plus, a lot of writing from what used to be independent films has now gone to television.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Do you have a movie that you want to make?
Yeah, I got a couple scripts. This one, I'll tell you about it. It's the best script I've ever written. I wanted to write a homage throwback to 80s supernatural slasher movies like Nightmare on Elm Street and Phantasm. And I wrote this script. I actually came up with it within the first couple of months I was here. I noticed there was a lot of trespassing teenagers here that were trying to get into the swimming pool and the sauna room and the hot tub here. And I decided to turn it into something. So I came up with a story about a lesbian Catholic schoolgirl who moves into this apartment complex that's being haunted by her imaginary friend from childhood who used to be alive, and he used to be a security guard at that complex. And he got killed by trespassing teenagers, and now he's returning the favor. And he's got like a week and day of reckoning that he calls the Summer of Trespass. And I got some pretty gory, over-the-top killings in it, just like you'd see in Nightmare on Elm Street or something. And there's a great message in the movie. It's a movie about knowing who your true friends are and stuff. And, I made the character a lesbian because I grew up in San Francisco and I have a lot of gay friends, and I don't think they've been properly recognized in movies.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not unless it's like a mushy stereotype,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
like the Birdcage or Basic Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean that's a script I want to make and stuff. And
That's cool.
I've talked to a few people I've met at conventions about it and stuff. And then there's the usual, oh, I'm really busy right now, but we'll talk about it in the future type of shit you always hear. Yeah, well, I mean, Hollywood is all about waiting and stuff, and eventually stuff happens if you're persistent enough. I mean, you've been through that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
How long did it take when you made that short film with Brian Callen?
I just did it over a weekend, and then I got stopped, and I told the whole story about how,
You may have, I can't remember.
we did it, and we got stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we just did it over the weekend, and then I had it edited, which took another, I don't know, like maybe another couple months.
Right.
And then, and put music, and that took another couple of months, and so, it takes time. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah. You didn't want to go digital?
I don't think that really is. I just sort of now it's kind of over and sort of is done to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you like porno movies?
I don't really watch them. I don't need to go to porn movies if I want to do anything. You just go out in real life. So,
Yeah, I'm a collector. I've been a collector for years.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe think about just getting girlfriend.
I've had girlfriends, and it's been a while. I'll tell you something. Recovering from this accident, I haven't had any game. I haven't had any luck. I haven't. God, it's almost going on 4 years since I've been laid last.
Well, maybe you got to change your story. Maybe you don't have to. It's not a, you do have to walk.
Maybe I have to walk.
No, I said maybe. I said you do have to. Don't say you don't have to walk.
Oh. Yeah.
Right there. I mean, not to get. But how do you know you don't have to walk?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm at that point now where, like, I went wild in my 20s. I was a bouncer in a bar, and it's true what they say. That's a very sexy occupation, and I had a lot of fun and stuff until my early 30s, and I had two girlfriends during those years and stuff, and it's just I got to the point now where I want to focus on showbiz and my career and stuff, and like if something happens, I haven't really met anyone yet that I want to date or anything like that, But it almost happened when I moved here last year in Reading. There was this girl. She was married, and she was married to this real asshole, and she was in a abusive relationship. She eventually got out. She actually divorced him right in the middle of summer, and she actually moved back home where she's from and stuff. And she ended up having cold feet. She wanted to have sex with me, and it didn't happen. And we texted each other all summer about it and everything. It never happened. And then she was rude to me and stuff, and then I stopped talking to her. But
why did she get rude?
She was weird. She was really fucked up from whatever abuse she had, both as a kid and as a wife. She was whacked pretty much. Yeah. Exactly. But I hope she's okay and everything. And she started over,
Yeah.
I was curious though, Elizabeth, where do you stand on blowjobs?
Oh God. So this is what you see, when you were telling me what this is about, I wasn't really sure. I didn't know what you meant. So yeah, I'm kind of a personal person.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff, I don't really I'm probably not the right person to interview for this kind of stuff.
It's okay, Elizabeth. It's okay.
I'm private, so it's like.
Oh yeah.
I doubt you get me talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people I've talked to on the show that ended up being private too, and it's okay. I absolutely respect that, and I apologize if that was too much.
No. But I didn't know when you said, you have a sense of humor. I'm like, yeah, but if we were talking about, and then plus you caught me on a day where, like, everything that could go wrong is going wrong with different stuff. So I'm like more in one of those serious modes.
Yeah.
So you caught me at an odd spot. So sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I had this game that I played with a friend on the show last week. That was pretty funny. It's a personal question game, but it's not like anything like that, And basically, how you play it is, I ask you a question, you answer, and then you ask me the same question back, and I answer it.
Okay.
Type of thing.
Okay, that's good.
So, Elizabeth, are you ticklish?
Yes, I'm ticklish.
Oh, I am baby ticklish. I get like a knee-jerk reaction if you tickle me. Is your belly button an innie or an outie?
Is your belly button an innie or outie?
I am an outie. What color are your toenails painted?
Red. What color are your toenails painted?
Right now, no color, but I like to do like elaborate colors.
I mean, like turquoise, and silver, and gold.
Yeah, and also purple, pink, red, and sometimes white French tip with sparkles. You know, stuff like that.
Oh, fun. That's really fun.
Yeah, I've been doing it since I was 13.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. I used to get them done professionally, but now I do them myself.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I can't even attempt to do mine. I get it all over.
Yeah, it saves me a lot of money. And what would you say is the worst stinky smell ever?
Um, hmm. I would say sewage.
Sewage? Yeah.
What would you say the worst stinky smell is?
It could be that, but it could also be when I got out of the hospital. I had been wearing these socks for like a month in the hospital, and when I got out of the hospital, I had pretty bad athlete's foot that lasted about 6 months, and that was pretty bad, I have to say.
Oh, yeah.
That's,
That sounds like pretty bad.
yeah, that's the only time in my life I ever had that. And I was an athlete in high school. I played football, I wrestled, I did track, and that never happened one time. And then all of a sudden that happens, and I just couldn't believe it. And thank God it went away.
Well, yeah. You wouldn't want to have that for long term, right?
No, not at all.
You'd be carrying that around.
Yeah. Okay, so let me wrap this up by telling you some jokes, and then we can part ways.
Okay.
Do you know why aspirin is white?
No, why?
You want it to work, don't you?
That's really funny.
Thank you. Okay, this does not represent my own personal beliefs. This is just a funny, sick joke that it's pretty old. Two pedophiles are sitting on a park bench, and this 12-year-old girl walks by, and the first pedophile says, "Hey, will you look at that one?" And the second pedophile says, "Yeah, she must have been something in her day."
That's funny.
Thank you.
Funny.
And then this is my... What?
Are these ones that you made up, right?
What was that?
Or are these ones that you made up?
No, these are public domain jokes. I don't do my own jokes on air because I don't want no one to steal them while I'm not famous, you know.
That makes sense, totally.
Yeah, and then this is my favorite joke of all time. Eddie Murphy told this joke to a couple 13-year-olds in the front row of his HBO special Delirious. It's pretty funny. A bear and a rabbit are taking a shit in the woods. The bear says to the rabbit, "Excuse me, sir, do you have a problem with shit sticking to your fur?" The rabbit says no. So the bear wiped his ass with the rabbit.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then the rabbit died from the stink.
Oh god. That's funny. That's funny.
I love that joke. Well, Elizabeth, you are so awesome. Thank you so much. Let's do this again.
Okay, sorry I'm a little gutted today. As I said, I have a lot going on.
Oh, it's okay.
Speak to you soon. Take care of yourself.
You too, and keep your head up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Elizabeth Gorcey. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Elizabeth. You know, we didn't go full pervert, but we did have fun talking and stuff, and we did get to catch up. And thank you so much for your love and sympathy and support of me. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, There's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes.